Okay, how do you register for or get the ebook in your course, all that good stuff? So I'm borrowing a second mini-term course here, and I'm going to try to explain it the best I can using this empty course. So first of all, in the left side of Canvas, you don't see two things that you have to have. And you have to have MyLab and Mastering, and you have to have Red Shelf. So if you don't see MyLab and Mastering or Red Shelf in the lineup over there, you need to let me know where I can put those in. And so that's the first thing I'm going to do for this particular this particular instructor, is I'm going to put those in. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video, put those in, and then come back. Okay, so now this instructor has MyLab and Mastering in there, and the instructor has Red Shelf in there, which is great. You've got to have both of those in there. If you don't have them, I'll set them up. So the next thing that you're going to do, is click on MyLab and Mastering. Okay, at this point it's going to say Get Started. So you're going to get started. Now, for me, it went straight to create a course because it's recognizing my credentials in there. So for you, it may be go straight to this page which says create a course, which is great, or it may ask you to log in. And so our Pearson book rep should have sent you a login, which is usually your email, and they also should have sent you a password. Okay, so log in. Now, if you've used the Pearson stuff before and you want to copy your course, all you have to do is copy your name copy here, or copy mine right there. If you were, is this your first time doing it and you just want to use it as an ebook, you can just click here and pick Blitzer and look for one of Blitzer's books. It's got to be the exact one, though. Same color, same edition. It has to have essentials on there, and that's because that's what's tied, the code that's tied to the ebook that the students purchased. So the one that we would pick is this one right here that says College Algebra Essentials 6th edition. It's this color scheme here, and so we would select there. Now, I'm not selecting there because, I'm in somebody else's course. I'm kind of hijacking it. But that's what you would select. Okay, and then you get to name it. So I just put, I might say Fall 2022 College Algebra, first mini term or first term or full term, or however you want to call it is your business. It's going to ask for a start date, so you can just enter today. It's going to ask for an end date. I always put like Christmas or the far end of the semester. It really doesn't matter. You just want to make sure it's after the semester. It's going to ask you, can instructors copy this course? You want to say yes, because you don't want to have to create this every time, and you'll be able to copy your own course next time. So hit copy. You're able to copy. Can't think if there's anything else in there, but that should be most of it, and you'll hit submit. Okay? Great. So then you'll hit submit, and it'll say, congratulations, you have created your course. It might take up to 3 hours for this to show in your list. Okay. It usually doesn't, but that's what it'll say. Now, once it shows in your list, you'll click on MyLab and Mastering, and once it's in your list, it'll look like this. Okay, and so you could say open MyLab and Mastering, and you have options. If you just want to see the ebook or have your students see the ebook, all they have to do is click on e-content. And so if they were doing, say, section P3, they could select P, select section P3, and say view the e-text. Okay, now I'm on a magnified board, so mine isn't to scale, so your students might have to scale it down where they can see. If you're just using it as a text, then you might say, hey, your homework today is on page 38, and so you can just tell them to type in page 38 and it'll turn to that page. Of course, that wasn't it, but you should have a hard copy of the book, and it's going to match page by page exactly to your book. Okay, so that's how it would look, and that's what you would do if you were just using it as an ebook. Now, some of you might want to use it, which is perfectly fine. As long as you're using the ebook, I don't care how you use it. Some of you might want to assign homework or tests or quizzes or anything like that. So I have mine done, so I've got assignments. And so here's what my assignments look like for my first test. I gave them 12 questions. So here's question 2. So the answer is not a real number, so I can click there. But if they need help, they can say view an example or help me solve this. If they miss it, it's going to give them, I think, 3 chances. And then after the 3rd chance, it'll give them an option that says similar exercise, so they can do it on, as many times as they want. Notice up here it says P.3.5. So how that relates to the textbook is in section P3. This was like homework problem 5. So all the ones that I've assigned over here are ones that are exactly like the ones from the textbook. So don't feel obligated. I'm assigning textbook problems just like you are. Mine, the computer's grading them, whereas you're grading them. So it's actually, you're just assigning the same thing. So don't feel guilty if you're not using the MyMathLab. Okay, and I let mine do it a little after the due date. So there's an option where you can say, you can put it a penalty on there if it's after the due date. So if you wanted to adjust your dates or adjust your problems or something like that, you go to Assignment Manager. So here are all mine. You can see I've got my dates over there. Where it says List Questions, this shows you the question ID and how I got it. So like P337, that came from P3, it was number 37 from the textbook, and that's how it would look. You can add or edit. Let's say I wanted to edit one. Oh, let me edit one that's a little later in the semester. My students have already started that one. So let's say that I wanted to edit 2.4. I think that's parallel lines. Oh, I should have given more. I might say, I should have given more parallel lines. So let me go up here and I'll say, let's do, that's chapter 2 and that's section 2.4. And so I might say, let's try this one and this one and this one and this one. And so I can add those to it and then I'd have my assignment. So that's how you create an assignment or edit an assignment. You're welcome to copy mine. I set mine up by sections. That's always available for you if you want to copy mine and then change mine and make your own or just use mine straight out. Some of you might want to do tests. You want to do something else, a little bit more substantial than homework. So you can hit Create Assignment, create a quiz, create a test. You can copy things from other textbooks that are, as long as they're Pearson products. So that's what you can do with that one. Okay, so it's fairly easy to use, and I'm old and technology's not really my thing, and I can still use it. So it's just a matter of if you play with it, you're going to be able to use it pretty well. Now let me show you the end game with it. Let me go to one of my classes that's already in session. Let's see, we'll use this college algebra. So click on MyLab and Mastering one more time. I let the computer do the work for me. So see where it says Grade Sync? I let the computer bring all of these homeworks in. So I'm going to say Sync Grades Now, and it's going to bring in my students. Now all my students were supposed to do right now was P3. Make sure that they all sync today. Great. I think P3. Ooh. It's still thinking, and that's the one I want to see. So I'm going to wait. See, as you see, technology is not my best quality. Come on, there it goes. Okay, so now then, once I go to Gradebook, it's going to put all those sections in my Gradebook for me. and I can see P3 is what my students have done. Okay, so I just told them for just getting started that they had to get started and they had to do at least one problem so I'd know that they had accessed the ebook at this point. And by next week, they're going to have to finish P3. But if I look through there, all of these students have done section P3 so far. I do have a lot of them. And so all of these have done a lot in section P3, which is great. And then the only people that haven't logged in yet in all my college algebra classes are these, however many. And so it's going to go ahead and put that over there for me. And I have it set up in my Canvas gradebook so I can see their weights and their totals. The homework for my class is 17%. And so it just pulls it on in and I don't have to do anything with it. So that's another little good thing about it, especially when you have, 100 and, I think I've got 150 college algebra students maybe. So I don't have to grade all that. Okay, so hopefully that helps you. It gives you a quick little overview. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to help you set it up at any time.